SportsBit is powered by BetOnline, driving the opening odds market since 2001. Visit sportsbookreview.com to learn more about BetOnline and its A+ rated platform in the link below.
Big game breakdown here on SportsBit. Betting insight today from SBRpicks.com. Let's talk Pac-12 championship game Friday night. Stanford against USC. USC, I'm going to call it 4. USC 4, 58.5. There are handfuls of 3.5 out there. A handful of 3.5 out there on the Trojans, but most books up to 4 right now with USC in this ball game. And if you watch the first meeting, you fully understand why. USC dominated, 42-24. It was a rare Pac-12 game in which Stanford legitimately got pushed around in the trenches. The Trojans, 309 rushing yards against Stanford in that ball game. That doesn't happen a whole lot. Clay Helton talking about that contest. We've had some hard days with them, meaning Stanford, in the past, but I thought our kids had their jaws set. I thought they had a mentality of wanting to come out and be physical. They believed in what we were doing, and they executed it. And of course, when you're talking about Ronald Jones and the ability to pound the ball on the ground, what do you have? 1,346 rushing yards, 6.3 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns this season. Sam Darnold maybe getting headlines about what's going on in Cleveland. And I'm going to stay in college, not have to go to the Browns, which is based on what? Nothing he actually said. But nonetheless, he's news on a Tuesday morning. But more than just Darnold. You talk about Deontay Burnett. 73 catches, 966 passing yards, 9 touchdowns. That balance with a potential number 1 pick at quarterback, elite talents at running back and wide receiver, a strong offensive line, that makes them a really, really difficult team to defend. And of course, when you look at the situational spot for these two teams, USC is coming in here off a bye week. Stanford is coming in off a succession, not one big game. Look at what they've done in their last 4 games. At Washington State and Washington. They needed to win those games to be here, Then the rivalry game against Cal, and then Notre Dame last week, another big rivalry game. That's a tough 4-game stretch with no break to go to the Pac-12 championship after. And of course, Bryce Lev is still not 100% healthy. He's been playing through injuries in those games. He was dominant in the first meeting. He had 160 yards on the ground on 17 rushes. Scored a touchdown, a big play TD in that contest. But Love's not 100% right now. But there is one other big difference for the Cardinal. Since that first meeting, Keller Christ was at QB for Stanford early on. What's he, a 54% completions? He wasn't good, 6.7 yards per attempt. KJ Costello at QB is a clear upgrade over Christ. And now he's the Stanford starting QB. He's completed more than 61% of his passes. He's a full half yard per pass attempt better than Christ was for the season. And oh, by the way, talk about a confidence boost. This guy just threw 4 touchdown passes without a pick and threw for 8 yards per pass against Notre Dame last week. I understand, why USC's favored in this contest, and I understand why they're taking money. But look at this quote from David Shaw. We sat here 1-2 with a lot of doubt. Some of it was internal. We had to ask ourselves a lot of questions. We had to change some pieces around on our team. We talked about not worrying about anything else other than playing our style of football, blocking out the noise. We had to go back and be who we are, hit a groove. Stanford has done that, and their quarterback play a lot better now than it was in the first meeting. Certainly Shaw showing film of USC blasting them at the line of scrimmage. Even though the Cardinals are a little bit gassed here, I'm expecting them to bring something, but given the spot, given the 4 straight huge games for USC, given the dominance in the first meeting, I could only look at laying the points with the Trojans in round number 2. It's USC or pass for me in this one. No strong opinion on the total. Stay tuned here on SportsBit. We got more big game breakdowns coming up next.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.